Every time we see a child's face light up with his own fish on the line. When he grows up, most likely he'll take his kids fishing too. That's the way it's always been. Traditions like this.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to FishTec Live Season 3, Episode 4. Tonight we are talking about Bronkhorstpruit Dam. It wasn't a very complicated dam. There was some basic scanning there, but nonetheless some great information, so we definitely want to talk about that. I've had a lot of requests for it. We've already sold a ton of those charts, so it's obviously something the guys wanted really badly. The next thing we're going to be talking about, we always like to talk about relevant topics that have occurred recently, and one of the ones that have come up once again is the story about the GPS source, and most importantly the 0.1 GPS receiver / heading sensor, with emphasis on heading sensor. So welcome everybody. I see it's already streaming all right. I don't see any problems. I hope everybody can hear me. I see Malcolm's there, Hanno's there, Charles there, Colleen, Johan, Amir, Reinhard, Ismail, everybody. Hi Malcolm, how you doing? Reinhard, how you doing? Everything good? Please let me know if the audio goes funky or something happens. Please let me know. But yeah, welcome everybody. Let's see how we go tonight. But before we go any further, I just want to make mention of something very, very important. Let me just find the right spot for us here. Oh, nearly there. Sorry, guys. I should have done a screenshot of this.
More than 50 years ago, we wanted to change.
Right there. We just want to give our condolences to Daryl Lawrence's family. Daryl passed away last month, and yeah, it was quite a shock. He's done so much, or he did so much for fishing in general around the world. His inventions, his bringing sonar to the sport arena was just a fantastic thing with his little green box. So guys, just yeah, thank you to Daryl Lawrence for creating such a wonderful product, and I'm sure you'll never be forgotten. So there we go, back online, guys. Yeah, some some great stuff. That intro video that I've been using for going on 3 years now, it's obviously got a little bit more of a punch to it because of Daryl speaking to us in that intro video, that Lawrence video. So yeah, we'd like to thank Lawrence for that and being able to use that video. Good memories there of a great man. Guys, Bronkhorstpruit, let's just jump straight into Bronchies here. I'm going to merge this in here. I'm going to put that over there. There we go. I think we are sort of, yeah. Okay, guys, Bronkhorstpruit Dam, as you know, it has a sediment chart. It's not a great sediment chart. If we go to the sediment here, let's put it this way. There was some good enough information. Okay, now that I've been on the water, now that I've scanned it, now that we've got a color contour chart, as you can see there, things make a lot more sense compared to just the old black and white. However, if we zoom into certain areas, I see we still got my contours on. Let's turn those contours off. We don't want those contours there. If you take this particular area here, I don't believe there's enough information for us to really say that the sediment chart has given us the information that we require as a fisherman. And I'm going to show you why. Let me go to this quickly. We're going to go to Ultra HF North. Let's see if I can find this first. Yeah, let's look at this area here. This is Ultra HF North. You can clearly see there's a bank here. There's a ledge. This is a very, very popular place. That's why I'm highlighting it tonight, because most of you know about this area. There's no real surprises here whatsoever. But the thing I was trying to show you was, if you go to your contour charts, can you see how nice that shows from shallow onto that shelf into the deeper water, and why this area is such an important area, and why over the years I'm sure it's been very popular to actually fish, because a lot of things were going on here. That ledge was obviously prominent, and then of course if you go to the Ultra HFN, which I'll zoom into just now, which is your Ultra HF, but it's the north side of the dam. I couldn't do it all as one chart, it was just too much information, and it just causes the whole map creator to crash. So we split it down the middle to north and south. But let's have a look if the sediment chart gave us enough information to identify this key area. Remember, there's rocks, there's an old building there, and then of course there's the big ledge. So let's pop into sediment. We look at sediment. No, not in any way or form is that. Now that we know it's there, we go, okay, that sort of makes sense, but it doesn't. Not really. When you do that, bang. Guys, any of you, let's just see who's on here tonight. Gareth Davies joined, Jimmy Cryptiades has joined, Rowan Oberholz has joined us. Jimmy, good evening from Greece. Welcome, Jimmy. Glad you can join us. Fantastic, man. Stephen Cronier, Monet, I apologize. My reading of names is terrible. Vatatus, welcome. Simon Haddon, Arshad Maita, Jurg, welcome, Jurg. Yes, I can't wait for our trip. I tell you what, I'm so excited. Man, anyway, you see now I'm getting distracted because Jurg has invited me on a wonderful holiday to the Kruger National Park where I've never been before, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, and Jurg was instrumental in helping me while I was mapping Bronkhorstpruit. He offered me beautiful accommodation, and geez, the best sort of host you can ever imagine. And just just all around, thank you very much for everything that you did for me, and I can't wait for our trip coming this month. So yeah, you see, I get distracted. I'm so excited about this. I've never been to the Kruger, so yeah. Guys, back to the charts. The sediment did not have enough information. I think we all know that. It just didn't have enough information. Look what happens when we go to the Ultra HF now. Now we've identified this as a key area. Okay, let's zoom in and have a look what is here. This is the spot, you guys. There's all your grass edge. You see where I'm dropping the cursor here? There's your grass ledges. Very good stuff. And then here, look at all this nice rocky stuff here. Really nice rocky stuff right on the ledge. That's why it obviously became a ledge, because it was harder and the river washed other things away, and then you got this lovely ledge here with these rocks all along here. And then of course that foundation that everybody knows, nice crystal clear. Guys, just so you know, I'm using the Ultra HFN, which is your standard Ultra HF. It's not the Ultra HF Plus, because I'm streaming with a HDS9 carbon. Unfortunately, my HDS Live 16, the Wi-Fi is packed up, and I cannot show you what the Ultra HF Plus charts look like. But anyway, this is half the resolution of what you get for the 16 and the 12. Just remember, guys, Ultra HF Plus is only available for the Live 12 and the Live 16 because of that quad core processor that it has, and it just handles the charts. If we put those charts into these units, they become laggy and they become a bit sticky, and we don't want that. So as you can see, we've taken a little bit of a knock, but I'm sure you'll all agree that it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. It's not too bad. If you go to your contour charts and we just turn off these some of these categories here in the background so we can see what's going on there. Can you see that there? That old building, that old foundation, that old ruin was actually there. You see, in the old satellite, I can't remember what year this was. You can see it's when the dam was very, very low, very low. And bang, look at that. You can see there it is there. But guys, when you go to Ultra HF, can you see what I'm saying? It's a little bit clearer, to say the least. Right, who else have we got here? So Daniel McLaughlin, hi Daniel, how you doing? Mark Aubrey's joining, Mohammed James, Abram has joined. Good evening everybody. Right, so we've established that the information that we had before was not quite sufficient. Now you're going to say to me, holy smokes, guys, that building, you know what, I've only just noticed it now. Sure, that building was actually on the sediment chart. Can you see that there? Slap, bang. Contour, there it is there. Ultra HF. Huh? There's the thing, eh? Didn't anticipate that. But anyway, the ledge isn't there. Doesn't show the ledge properly. Now, the guys will say, what about the SA inland charts? The one that's got 40 dams on it and some contours and outline and whatnot. That data has been converted digitally from these old sediment charts. So all like this information here, actually showing that little hut there, that won't be on the chart. But these major contour lines that you see here, they will be on that chart. So for those of you starting off, or if you don't have a HDS or you don't have an Elite TI, you can buy the SA inland charts. Contact your local Lawrence dealer. It's around 600 Rand, and you will have at least some contours. So that's another option for you if you don't want to go with the Bronkhorstpruit FishTec HD chart, which I'm sure you would want to do. But while we're here, I want to show you something. Here's some of the really, really obvious stuff that everybody knows about and whatnot. But let me just tell you, guys, let's just take this for a second here. You pull into this area like that, and you fishing this edge here. Your situational awareness, okay, what you see around you. You and I, we've got our eyes, most of us, hopefully. We're aware of our surroundings. The minute you're on water, particularly dirty water, your situational awareness is diminished. Okay, so the first thing you need to help you understand where you are from a topography perspective is you need your contour charts. So let's go back to our categories and let's go and turn them all back on again. Voila. No, we don't want that top one. That's bottom hardness. We don't want bottom hardness. I'll talk about bottom hardness now. There is our... Now you've got your situational awareness is you know you're near a ledge, you know there's deep water over there, you know there's the shallows over there, you've got the shoreline as a reference, you can see the weed line over there, so you're feeling a lot more comfortable. Now you get into the zone, you've identified this is a good spot. Now your 1 foot, you zoom in closer, your 1 foot contours kick in. Guys, please pay attention to that type of thing. You see that little point over there where the contours do that? Please pay attention to those type of things. You could find a very small, unique little secondary point. You're finding something on something on something. Huge value. People go up and down, fish that whole area. But if you can identify those little things that stand out, you will catch the better fish. We know that. It's a proven thing. It just works. So situational awareness, you've got the contours, you've got the minor contours, 1 foot intervals, you're really becoming comfortable with your surroundings. But what happens then? Then we go back to here, we go to your Ultra HF. Now you can zoom right in. Now you know exactly where you are. You know what you're fishing. There's no surprises. No surprises whatsoever. But what happens when you come into the grass here? Let's everyone just take a quick look at the grass and say, that's the weed line. A weed line is a weed line. Look carefully. Like the Zulu will say, buge moshli. Watch out for weed lines that have those little rocks. I'm going to pause there for a second. Guys, I can't emphasize enough how important that is that I'm pointing on. Look at the depth that we're in there. You got your 12 to 15, so let's say it's in, if the dam's at 100% full, that'll be in 13-foot depth. As the dam comes down, remember, you're going to have to compensate yourself. So when you get on the water while you're idling out from the slipway and the chart says you're in 15 feet of water and you look at your find and it says it's only 10 feet, what do? You know now the dam is down by 5 feet. You need to compensate in your head for that 5 feet. Unfortunately, the Lawrence units do not have a depth adjustment tool. Something I'd really like to see. That is a tool I would like to see come from the House of Lawrence. I'm sure it's not too complicated. I'm sure we can do that. But let's hope that maybe someday that'll happen. Again, there's your weed line. There's some more rocks there. Oh man, look at this. Okay, you see those big shadows there? Let's just put that in the center of the screen there. You see how the grass point comes out there? And you've got all those shadows there? Guys, those are not bass. I don't know if they're carp or tilapia. I don't have a... That's as close as I can zoom in. But I can tell you for sure that is the sonic shadow of something that is not bass. Okay? But those are fish. But the fish are obviously interested in something in this area. So don't say, oh, those are carp and they aren't bass, so let's not fish there. There could be a bass in amongst them. Give it a try. What triggers it? Again, you've got some little offshore rock close to that weed line there. And then, of course, you've got this absolute gem over here. Right in the weeds, you've got those rocks there. How many guys are going to know about those rocks sitting there? Guys, I don't, I'm not going to go through the whole dam and give away all the secrets and what have you, but I just want to tell you, look at this type of thing. Pay close attention to this thing. Don't just go, it's a weed line, it's a weed line. Look for something that's on that weed line. Anyway, let's see, who's joined us? Jans Fisharon, Jens, welcome. Jose, Victor Bridger, welcome. Ian Crook, hello Ian, how you doing? Michael Cannon, hey Mark, how you doing? Rashid, Peter Esbach has joined, can you believe it? Jaapie Boerter, welcome. Jaapie, how you doing? Peter van Dijk, Ian Hibbert, Jacques Lutz has joined, hello Jacques. Jens Versichen, hi John, again interesting talk, far too kind, sharing valuable info on interpretation like this. Thanks Jens, thank you very much, thanks for joining and thank you for the kind words. It's awesome having a live show like this and seeing you guys join us. Guys, please don't hold back with questions. Hey, Michael Cannon, he's a pro staff, he's a FishTec pro staff. Michael Cannon, congratulations. I see he's also become a brand ambassador for Lawrence, South Africa. Congratulations. He's got a beautiful pair of HDS Live 9s. So I look forward to seeing some amazing stuff from Michael Cannon. Guys, please follow Michael Cannon on his Facebook. Between him and a couple of his mates, they do some incredible videos. And then, of course, the fantastic STB challenge. So look out for that one online. Let's see what Mike says. That's the key to vegetation fishing, is what's mixed in with the weed line, rocks or timber. Hey, there we go. There we go, guys. Hey, you all know I'm the world's worst fisherman, right? Michael is not that. Mike is a fantastic fisherman. I can't wait to see where Mike's fishing career takes him, but it's going to be a wonderful career. And there's it, you know, from the proverbial horse's mouth. So, yeah, Mike, good one. Evaldas, Bello, hi, good evening, Evaldas, how you doing? Gatis, Malmesters, welcome. Tommy John, welcome, Tommy, pleasure. Yes, no worries. Dean Reynolds joined. Fantastic. We've got a bunch of guys tonight. That is wonderful, man. This is really fantastic stuff. Right, let's get back on and let me focus again. So we've got the contours. We've got, okay, let me talk about this. Guys, you see these gaps here? I could not map this. When I was there, the weed line was just so thick. If I show you in the Ultra HF, can you see how it actually just goes black? You can't even get a boat in there. It is so thick. It is just packed weed. At some point, I'm hoping maybe when it was very close to full when I was there. In fact, I think it was 100% full. I think after a very severe winter, I think a lot of this weed might die. And I'd love to get in there again and scan it again, as with many of our other dams. And remember, we are becoming autonomous in 2019. We've had autonomous mapping for 3 years now, but just doing depth contours. In 2019, we're going to be doing side scan Ultra HF autonomously. Guys, I can't even tell you how exciting that is, but it's complex. There is so much that has gone into it. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to break it down. We'll be here for hours, but it's been quite a bit. But this is the year that it's going to happen. Yeah, let me not carry on scrolling. I get too carried away when I see this. So yeah, these areas that have these blank spots here, it's a lot of weed line, and we obviously couldn't get in there. So we don't know what that depth data is. If you go up the river section here, you can see there's just nothing. We couldn't even get in there. It was just thick with the grass. So in a case like this, I recommend you pay close attention to your satellite imagery. So go to your chart options, go to your categories, turn those off there, and use as much of that as possible. Let's just see if we can get some Ultra HF in here. Yeah, we can. You can see there's a channel running through there in between this massive dense thick grass coming out there. Yeah, that's about it. It's not. And then of course there's that channel over there. That is some good information. So pay close attention to that. Might be a bit deep for a lot of guys, but definitely, guys, just yeah, have a look at that. It would have been nice if I did another pass there. I just noticed that now. Anyway, let me just see what the sediment tells us there, guys. Don't disregard sediment completely. You see that? You see how that sediment splits there? That would have really been nice if I did a couple more lines, wouldn't it? I'm going to have to get one of my pro staff to go and do some recording for me and send me those scans. Let me pop them in the chart here. See, I wasn't paying attention to the sediment when I was on the water. That's a pity. That's probably the only spot that I've missed. Oh, man, that is such a pity. You know, the other, you can see there's massive coverage. I don't want to show all the secrets. But yeah, you know, those old walls and that, there's obviously some great information there. Yeah, guys, let's see. James Parfit, good evening. James. Chad Mills, good evening. Chad, how you doing? Dean Reno, I need a Lawrence fish finder for here at the Val Dam. Really want to see what's under the murky water. Any old fish finders to sponsor me? Yeah, I wish. Yeah. Jacques Skuman, good evening, Jacques. Also pro staff, how you guys doing? I received my Bronchies and Witbank charts. Thank you very much. Awesome. I hope you have fun with them, and yeah, teach us a couple of tricks. Christopher Greenland, good evening. Chris, how you doing? Fantastic. How are we doing? Geez, we're up to 44 guys online viewing right now. That is fantastic. Welcome everybody, welcome. Right, Guys, so basically, oh yes, and the other thing that we've got with the Bronkhorst chart, I've tried to simplify it a little bit with regard to, you know, when you boot the unit up and you first put your charts in, you're saying yes, 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 yes. I know the guys, especially with the Northern Province chart, the Northern Province sediment chart, you've got to say it about 20 times and it gets quite annoying for some people. I've tried to simplify, especially this Bronkhorst chart. So under contour, you've got bottom hardness, you've got contour, and you've got satellite all under the same one. So you don't have to accept all those different layers. I hope you guys like that. Maybe give me some feedback if you prefer them separate, but I'm trying it with Bronkhorst. I think it works well. Let's see how it goes. But let's see what you can do just with the contour chart alone. You've got the low level satellite behind there. We go to our categories. We can put lines. There now you've got contour lines, and remember these are not from sediment, these are actual scanned lines, okay? So that'll be very accurate information. So there we go, that's on top there. What else can we turn on? We know about that. We've got our depth data, easy to read, pretty looking. While we're looking and we're saying how pretty this is, who of you watched Bassmaster Live Elite Series now recently, the big final? Have you heard everybody raving about CMAP? For those of you who have been following me for the last 10 to 15 years, we've been doing that for the last 10, 15 years. Commercially available for 10 years, but we've been doing it for a lot longer. I'm not the only person that's done it. There's lots of guys around the world that has also done it. Your Dr. Bruce Sampson is, as far as I'm concerned, was the very first guy that kicked this whole thing off with his hightechfishing.com website. So I always like to give, he owns a Dr. Sonar. You can find him on Facebook. He is an actual GP, a retired medical doctor, Dr. Bruce Sampson. When I found his website, it was like I'd wiped my eyes and a whole world opened up. And he got this lot going for me about 15 years ago. And I've never looked back. Really fantastic stuff. So hats off to Doc. Thank you very much. Categories. What else have we got? On the Bronkhorst chart, I've added bottom composition. And there it is there. You can see your bottom hardness. Obviously your redder area, the oranges is your harder bottom, and then the lighter it gets is your softer bottom. But you will notice there's these two streaks that run through the middle of the dam here. Can you see them with that light patch there? And you're probably wondering, oh, is that a big soft section down the middle? No. What happened there is my little autonomous boat, fondly named Haggis, after my crazy cat, rest in peace. We unfortunately had to put her down last weekend, but she was a bit of a nutball. And Haggis, with my autonomous craft, has also had a history of doing some crazy stuff. And what happened here is she picked up a little bit of weed, and obviously that weed got over the transducer, and it created these lines through the middle of the chart. And I didn't realize it at the time. So that's something we really got to watch out for going forward with the autonomous craft, is not getting involved with picking up weeds and things like that. I've already worked on a deterrent for that, so we will see. Let's see how we're going. Christopher says, good, thanks, no worries. Clifford John Jacob, nice information. Thank you, Clifford. Renaud de Pussy, should have hiked it when it was empty. Don't worry, Ultra HF has got it, Rainer. You'll probably see more with the Ultra HF, but yeah, when it was empty, it would have been nice to get in there with the drone. The drone, then we would have had elevation data as well as the aerial HD, which would have been nice. Aristoteles Kolios, nice presentation, John. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, Aristoteles. Awesome. Colleen is replying to that. That's great. Jan Lombard says, use the Bronkhorst charts this weekend, and with the assistance and advice of John and Yapi, caught plenty of fish. FishTec charts are brilliant. Fantastic. Jan, that is great feedback. Thank you very much. And yes, Rather take Yapi's advice than my advice. I'll supply you the chart, but take Yapi's fishing advice. People know, if you get fishing advice from me, watch out. Tommy van der Merwe has joined. Hello, Tommy, Jason, Rui, Valentine. Hello, Rui. How you doing? Right. Rui, don't go away. We're going to be talking about that 360. I see you've put a 360 on the transom of your Tornado, I think it is. So don't run away. We're going to be talking about that. So you're going to learn something tonight, hopefully. So ask questions and let's see how it goes. So guys, like I said, under the contour layer chart, we got bottom composition, we got satellite, and we got contours, and yeah, so everything's there. Then the Ultra HF is in the south. You'll see from here, just south of the yacht club, it goes all the way down here, right into the river, and it goes all the way down. I just couldn't go any further. This was the end of the line for me. But as you can see, it's scanned right across from left to right. You can see there's some little ledges in there. There's some little rocky bits in there. A couple of little stones here and there that you might want to pay some close attention to. Let's just see if you can see. We go to, I can't remember, guys, look at your no, the satellite just isn't clear enough, is it? So yeah, guys, that is Bronkhorstpruit. So look, we could probably speak for the entire hour just on Bronkhorstpruit, but I told myself past, I must stop. So that is it on Bronkhorstpruit. Right, next thing we're going to be talking about. We are talking about, let me get this in here. We're talking about GPS source and the 0.1 in particular. Guys, let's go. This is going to be a little bit tricky because I don't have a network set up here on my boat with the 0.1 and everything. So you're going to have to sort of bear with me here. So one of the problems with why you need multiple GPS sources on your boat. Let's first deal with that. I wrote an article. Let me bring this in here. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, let me just have a look. Who's here? Rui Van Jen, I'm fine, thanks. Good, Rui. Charles McGregor, howdy. Hello, Charles. How you doing? Tommy van der Merwe, bass fishing has come a long way from the first course, John. Well, yes, Tommy. Geez, you remember those early days, eh? Yeah, you've been around for a long time. Robbie Olivier, welcome, Robbie. Darren Hockley, what's the minimum required to need your charts? Darren, great question. Anything from a HDS Gen 2 button unit, believe it or not, runs the charts fine. And then, of course, the Elite TI and the Elite TI2. But unfortunately, your HDIs, your hooks, your chirps and all that, they unfortunately don't. They cannot run raster data, which is imagery data. They can only do contour data. So yeah, anything from an old HDS Generation 2 button unit will definitely do the job. Rod Freezer joined us. Alistair Moores Pitt has joined us. Hello, Alistair. Aristoteles Scholars. By the way, you're listening. Nice to meet you, stick figure. Aristoteles, I love stick figure. And the nice thing is, I actually got a message from them. I wrote to them, and I actually got a thing from them saying that I asked if I can use their music in my videos, and they said they give me permission, and I've always used it, and I love it. It really is fantastic music. So anybody that hears any of the start to my videos, I'll play one for you just now. When we talk about the 360, you'll recognize stick figure. So don't go away, Aristoteles. We're going to be talking. You're going to hear a bit more stick figure just now. Alistair says, epic stuff, John. Loving the new TI2 we have now. Thanks for the advice. Yes, Alistair's got himself a FishTec HD chart, our KZN charts, and he upgraded to the new Lawrence Elite TI2 9-inch unit. Lovely stuff. So we're good to go. Well done. Fergus Sim, welcome, Fergus. Yeah, sure, busy. Right, we were talking about the GPS source and the Lawrence 0.1. Guys, this is a very, very important device. One of the biggest problems that actually happens with a Lawrence unit or any unit, and I've spoken about it in previous sheets. You can see this is an old article. This article is in 2014 October. Geez, the 0.1 then was 3,555 rand. Yeah, so we're going back 5 years. Eh? You know what? It's not that much more right now. I think, yeah, it's not. I think it's like 5,000, somewhere around there. So it's not too bad. But guys, please do yourself a favor. Wherever you are in the world, if you don't have a 0.1, you've got to get a 0.1. And this is what we're going to talk about now. What does it say? It says it stabilizes the charts when approaching a waypoint at slow speeds, and it stabilizes the charts when fishing single or multiple waypoints from a stationary position. The other thing that it gives you is clock positions. You can, because you're going to use the bow of the boat as your 12 o'clock position, you can look at your charts and you've got your all your clock positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, up to 12 o'clock, you know where to cast. So, first of all, where do you mount a 0.1? This is the big question. You see a lot of guys putting heading sensors, which are essentially compasses, on the bow of their boat. Guys, that trolling motor, the amount of electrical interference from that trolling motor, and as you put your foot on the power to use more power, or it's more windy or whatnot, it's going to create more magnetic field. So it's going to fluctuate. And that's just going to throw your heading off. And the last thing you want to do is be miscasting. You know, we're talking about situational awareness. You look at your charts, it says there's the rock pile 50 feet from you, 2 o'clock position, you make your cast, but the electrical interference from the trolling motor has pulled that thing off. So now you're casting 20 feet off. That is no good. You can't do that. Reynard says, yes, charts amazing, just need to get a 0.1. Yes, Reynard, you really need a 0.1. Yakumutan, welcome. Robbie Olafia, yes, thanks. You see, he's got my back. 5K for a 0.1. Just keep in mind, guys, you also need a starter N2K starter kit if you don't have one. The 0.1 comes with the 0.1 itself. It comes with a T-piece. It's got a short cable on it, and it includes a 15-foot cable, N2K cable. But if you don't already have an N2K network on your boat, you will need an N2K network. I think it's around 1,200 bucks. It's worth, if you buy all those parts separately, it's worth about 3,500 rand. So always get the starter kit. Dimitri's joined us. Hello, Dimitri. Alistair says, I don't know how long myself and Marvin struggle with the old GPS unit. We get to a spot, then drift off and the GPS wouldn't move. Yes, Alistair, there we go. There's testament to what I'm just saying. Let me tell you, it used to be terrible, because what used to happen, how the system, the default setting on the systems before, if you were traveling at 100 k's an hour, that thing was refreshing every second. But the minute you came off a plane and you started slowing down, it would start, the frequency to which it will check in with the satellites would be reduced. And eventually, if you were under 3 kilometers an hour, you'd be fishing a spot, you've drifted 20, 30 meters, and then it will say, oh, now you're here. And oh, now it used to be terrible. It really used to be bad. So thank goodness this is all sorted, everything out. Hello, Dimitri. Welcome. David Davies has joined. Welcome, David. So, yeah, that is why you need the 0.1. Okay. So, where do you put the 0.1? Like we said, keep it away from that trolling motor. You're looking for trouble there. And the other thing is, guys, you only put one heading sensor on a boat. You cannot have 2 heading sensors on the same network. If you've got 2 units that are not networked at all, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you did, then sure, put one over there, or whatever. But guys, you only need one. You only need to know on one position of the boat, one accurate heading, and that'll display to all the units. However, what you don't, that is known under networking as a global setting. So whatever you've got on the one unit, it's global to all your other units on the network. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to hit the pages button here. I'm going to go to settings. We're going to go to network. Hey, hang on. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Let me start again. That was close, eh? Right. You're going to hit the pages button or the power button. If you're using one of the new units, you're going to go to settings. You're going to go to network. Let me just see. Neil Daisel. Hello, Neil. How you doing? Hello. Good evening. 2.1, is that important? Yes, Aristoteles. Quite right. Keep it away from that radar. The radar's also got huge magnetic interference, so be careful. Okay, we're here under network and we at data sources. Has anything been cut off? No. Okay, guys, now this is the tricky part. You see here on the right hand, if you just click on GPS, it gives you all local data. You can click on that. You see how it expands. I've already changed this one to local, but default, you see on the right hand side, there's that little drop down menu. I've just touched the screen on the right hand side. I'm just going to go back. On the right hand side of the screen, in line with that blue line on the far right, that little upside down triangle there, going to tap on that and you get this. Now guys, this is important. If you ever do a software update, you ever do a restore default on your unit, the first, and you've got multiple units on your boat, and especially if you've got a 0.1, this is the first thing you do. You go into settings, you go to network, you go to data sources, you go to GPS, and you go to all data, and you go and you hit the right hand side little drop down menu, and you change your scope from global. Global is the default setting. Don't forget that. Global is default setting. Change that to local. What that allows you to do, when you're on the bow of the boat and you select this GPS receiver, which is the little GPS in the top of the unit, very accurate, updates at 10 Hertz regardless of your speed. It's accurate, the EPE is good on it. Don't worry about it, it works great. Yes, the 0.1 is a little bit better, but a little bit. The GPS that's in the new units from the generation 3 onwards is great. It's a fantastic little GPS unit. Trust it. So you're going to go to local, and if you're fishing on the bow, you're going to select in the middle here this device. Make sure, just double check, just roll your eyes up to the top, make sure that you're still on local and not global, and then you're going to say HCS9 carbon this device, or whatever this device is up on the bow. What that'll do is where you're standing and you're fishing, that's going to be the center of your clock position. The center of your clock position is very important. We're going to talk about that now. How are we doing time? 1942. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to move. Okay, so that's the first thing you do, and you select that. Now, when you go to this is the bow unit that we've effectively set up now. When you go to your console unit, try and remember, always try and put your 0.1 as close to your transom transducer as possible. But guys, there's an app out there called Install Gemico. That's what it looks like for the iPhone users. I don't know if you can see that. Gemico, there we go. Get that app. It's got a magnetometer in it, and that's what you need. Measure the area where you're going to secure your 0.1. Make sure there's no magnetic interference there, and guys, screws. The hinges, you know, on your deck, you've got your hatches. The screws in those hatches, you know how often those things have got magnetic screws in them? Yeah, they're stainless steel, but they're magnetic. Be careful. Be very, very careful of that. Okay, so now you've set that up. So now you're going to go to your console unit. You're going to change again, very importantly, under scope. Here, we're going to change from global to local once again. And we're going to go and select. Now in this case, if you've got a 0.1 on the back, you're not going to select this unit. You're going to say 0.1, which is the one at the back, okay, which is closest to your transducer. So when you're driving around at the console and you create a waypoint of something you see on your screen from the console unit, that's very accurate. The GPS is here. That's the rock that you just marked, or fish or whatever. Easy peasy. that waypoint will get transferred via the N2K to the front of the boat. You're going to hop on the front, you're going to hop on the trolling motor, you're going to go to that spot, and that unit is going to compensate for that however long your boat is from the console to the front, and you will fish that waypoint very, very accurately. So that is something to keep in mind. I want to show you what happens when, and this, let me just see if I've got this over here. I'm going to merge that into there. This was taken from, I don't know if it was the last or the, I think it was episode 2 this year of season 3. I was on Easton Dam. I was using the HDS Live 16. I was using the Inanda FishTec chart, and I went over this very key little hump here. It's got some standing timber on it, as you can see there. Guys, I want to emphasize to you how accurate this chart is. If the GPSs are not playing up and your EPEs and drifting all over the place. In this case here, you can see the unit was set up perfectly. I'm idling very, very slowly. I think I'd even gone into new, or I could have even been on the trolling motor, I can't remember. But I was just moving very, very slowly in that direction. I wish I had my speed up there so I could see. But can you see on the chart, which is the top left thing, obviously, that's the Ultra HF of Inanda Dam. You can see the hump on the right-hand side. You can see the shadow of that tree. Next to it, in the blue, you've got fish reveal, which is down scan. You can see some of the sonar, the 2D sonar, pinging off the hump. It's pinging off some of those branches. Be careful of branches in fish reveal, can catch you very easily. However, on the right hand side of that tree on the fish reveal, can you see that arch down there? And if you look at the down scan part of the fish reveal, you see a little dot. That is a fish, and I caught that fish. And it was a good fish. It was around 2 kilos, believe it or not. The 2Ds there, you don't really need it there, but it gives you a little bit of assurance for those who are comfortable with it. And then below it, look what happens on the side scan as I pass that little hump. Can you see how there's more of it on the right hand side? So that is exact, that thing is working 100%. The accuracy, the EPE, everything worked together. That day, that screenshot, everything. You can hit spot lock with your trolling motor there, and if that thing tells you it's 2 o'clock position, 50 feet, you put your bait there and you cast there, and bang, you are on it every single time. So that is why we want to use this type of thing. But guys, we have a problem. What happens when the GPS starts messing around and the EPE starts going all over the place and what have you? I want to show you a little video that I did recently using the Humminbird 360. You guys all know that I'm a big Lawrence supporter and what have you. But guys, we cannot be brand blindfolded. We have to take something that is proven and tested, and it's not perfect. Let's just admit it. It's not perfect, but it's a tool that can work for us. I just want you to have a look at this quick video. Show you something else that's very interesting here. Can you see that little line of rocks there? I'm going to take a screenshot. Of it, there it is there. Can you see on the charts? There it is there. You can actually see it very, very nicely. So you've got an initial little row of rocks and then the main bank drop off. So if you're going along this bank here, everybody traditionally is going to be casting there. Bang, 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 way in the shallows there. But have a look closer to the boat, you've got that. Guys, while I'm just going to pause this video here for a second. No, that's too big. You're going to have to do without me for a bit. I don't know if you noticed, but the 360 appeared to be a little bit ahead of where the charts were. And I'll tell you why that actually happened. For some other reason on this day, I couldn't get my HDS Live 16 to select this unit. It will select the 0.1 from the back, it will select the carbon from the console, no problem, but it would, on the network, it would not select this unit. So if anybody else is experiencing that type of a problem, please don't hesitate. Get hold of Lawrence South Africa, report the problem. It's very important to report the problem and make it official. Preferably do it with an email or a WhatsApp so that you've got proof that you've sent it. And yeah, it's very important that we get on top of these little glitches with the units, because it causes big problems for us. And if we don't say anything about it, nothing's going to happen. Let's just carry on with that video. I want to show you something else. You've got a lot more interesting stuff. I'm not saying don't do it, but let me just take a screenshot of that. There we go. You can see that. And then, of course, on your 360, guys, there's something else that I want to show you here. What I found as a little bit of a concern on this, let me see if I can move out the way. You see how clear those rocks are on that 360, and that sort of from the 1 o'clock all the way to the sort of 2 o'clock. Be careful, that big fluffy thing on the right is weeds, so don't look at that. But where I run into a problem, and I'm in the way, let me turn it off. You see underneath this shoulder here, I'm going to turn myself off on the stream now, but look underneath this shoulder here. What you can see on the left hand side going up into the shallows using the 360. Unfortunately, I don't have a screenshot of it, otherwise I would have shown you that. So you're going to have to watch here now. I'm going to turn myself off here. You see that there? It just goes into like a murky haze. The rocks from the 1 o'clock position to that 2:30 position are crystal clear. Well, crystal clear, but good enough for me. I think they're very good. But let's just roll back a bit. Right. Can you see? Let me put myself back. Other shoulder. You see this side here? This is moving up into the shallows. Look at all this stuff here. This is valuable stuff. There's some standing timber there. There's this ledge there. Jeez, it's very difficult trying to watch yourself live and try and imagine what's behind you. Okay, all that there. That is some really good stuff that you need to know about. What concerns me, however, we can't see it here. You see, oops, see here? You can't see what is going on there. So, what am I saying? Am I saying the 360 is rubbish, don't use it? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, give credit where credit is due. Work out for yourself what are the pluses. What works well for you? And what can you afford? Remember, the 360 is a casting tool. It's meant to help you make an accurate tool, not to go finding structure. I know there's guys out there that have got this wonderful idea to use the 360 and go and find structure. You're going to bump into structure. You're not hunting or finding structure. You're bumping into it. Let me just see who else has joined us here. Tommy van der Meer. Yeah, Tommy says, is a system like Dr. Depth still being used? Tommy, what has actually happened? Parapalin, I used to be a dealer for Dr. Depth in South Africa. Parapalin closed shop, and he took Dr. Depth over to Hummingbird, and he now works for Lake Master, Johnson Outdoors. And if you look on any Hummingbird, you will see their auto chart, and their auto chart live, that is actually Dr. Depth, and it works exactly like Dr. Depth. So yeah, he closed up Dr. Depth and took it over to Hummingbird for that purpose. But unfortunately, they lost the ball, or dropped the ball a bit when it came to how to handle imagery data. We're still only sitting with the Hummingbirds we can handle one image at a time. And that is a big problem. Whereas for my charts, for example, what you see on the Lawrence, there are hundreds, literally hundreds of images making up the chart. So we could never survive with one image only. Henny Skuman says, good evening. Hello, Henny. Paul from Meerland. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Yes, Tommy, the things have changed unbelievably. Oh, wonder why that's... Guys, I hope your video isn't so blurry. Anyway, I'll talk about when this thing's over. Okay, back to this story with this 360. You've got to learn to work with the tools and know what their restrictions are. It will make a difference. I want to show you another. I don't think there was anything else here really. No, that sort of was it. There's another one here that I want to show you. Okay, watch this one now. Okay, everybody, here's another scenario. You know, you're going down the bank like this. You're fishing all the way down the bank, casting to the shallows. You're seeing stuff on your 360 like that. There's obviously two big rocks just about to come underneath the boat now. You want to fish that type of thing. And you keep on going, and you might keep heading off in this. Right. Do you remember here on the 360? You could see we were just about to go over those rocks. We were right on top of the rocks. But look on my chart. There we are. How far we are. Jeez, how do you do this? Anyway, you get the idea. There. Okay. Look how far we are from there to there. We were ways off it. That was because I couldn't select a GPS source of this unit on my HDS 16. Like I said, I've got a problem. There's some kind of issue which we'll get to the bottom of. But that is important. What if I didn't realize or forgot that I hadn't selected the proper GPS source? This is where the 360 is going to save your bacon. Because remember, the 360 is not dependent on GPS sources or anything. All you need to remember is where is that GPS source coming from. That's all you need to remember. And the easiest way to do that is know, I can't remember, was it the first one or was it the second one? Bring that in there. Shut myself off. Okay. Let's say you're sitting on your boat, you're on the bow of your boat, and you see that on your screen. You think, awesome. But situational awareness, you've got to now put it into a scale to understand where you are in that picture. So let's go to the actual boat. Okay, that's obviously on the front of this chap's boat. Let's say you're sitting in the boat. Now, where is that screen that you've just seen there? It's two different boats. I'm just using it as a graphical demonstration. Okay, what does that look like directly from the boat? Remember, your 360 is on the bow of the boat, and all the way out there, I've put that boat in. I've put it in the right perspective to the screen image. So I've taken those range rings that you see there. You see those intervals of 17.5 feet. I used those as my range. I'm saying this is a 21-foot bass boat, and that's how you can put yourself into a perspective when you're going to make the cast, because your 360 is up on the bow there. Now, Rui Valentine, he's got a transom mounted 360. Now, he's got a job and a half waiting for him, because he now has no way of compensating. When he's fishing on the front of the boat, he now has to compensate for his boat, the full length of his boat, place that position on the screen, and then make the cast. It's going to take practice. That is really, really going to take practice. That is a very tricky thing. And this is why I personally believe the best place for the 360 ideally would be directly underneath the bow of the boat. You know, where you stand, where you stand on the front of the actual boat. Imagine if that 360 was sort of in the hole directly underneath you. It would be so easy. But now what you've got to do is you've got to say, right, there's my 360 up on the bow, lean over to the front, put your fishing rod on top of it and say, right, it's saying 2 o'clock position, make my cast 50 feet, bang, and you make your cast. So yeah, just remember, even with the 360, you've got to compensate for these things. Guys, I'm not going to have a chance to show you the end of that video. So yeah, just be aware of your installation. Please don't forget about this setting up the actual unit. Where is that? Where have I put that? Let's merge that into there. Yeah, just please don't forget about this thing here where it says, let me turn that one off, under scope, changing global to local. It's a very, very important step. So please don't, if anything you remember about tonight, number one is get your Bronkhorstpruit chart by contact Colleen and order that. And secondly, get yourself a 0.1 and do this. Even if you don't have a 0.1 yet and you've just got 2 units on the boat, remember to do this. So your GPS receiver is reading off the front and your other one is reading off your console. So please do that. The other thing, guys, before I run off, I see it's 8 o'clock. We've been going for 10 years, Colleen and myself, with FishTec, and we have not had a getaway holiday in that time. And on the 23rd of April to the 1st of May, we are going away with our good friend Jurgen and his wife Mari, and we are going to the Kruger National, and we are not going to be open. That's what we're going to be doing. So go onto Facebook and hopefully you'll see some lovely photos of us on our trip. But yeah, so get your orders in before the 23rd of April. Contact Colleen, get your orders in so that there's no delay, because like we said here, we'll only be back on the 1st of May. So yeah, get that done. Let me put that in there, merge that into there. Let me try one last thing. How's that? There we go. That's what I should have done the first time. So yeah, let's see. Did I miss any questions? Neil Daisel says, don't you use a 360 more as a forward scan? 100%. It's a forward scan device. But Neil Daisel, remember, the most important thing about the 360 is it's a casting tool. It's to help you cast. That is very, very important. And there's a very solid place for it on a boat when it comes to making accurate casts, and purely because of GPS being unreliable. So watch out for that. Mohammed Esat joined us. Hello, Mohammed. Cordia joined us. Hello. Tommy, Jean, Detroit, Joe, thanks for the great service. Thank you, Jean. Fantastic. Thank you for the feedback and best of luck. Good night. Awesome show. Thank you, Reynard. Thank you very much, Rui. Awesome presentation. Enjoy the break. Thank you very much, Rui. Yeah, keep us posted, and just remember, you just got to compensate for that length of your boat, but you're gonna love it. It'll be great. Peter, thank you very much. Gonna do it, Fergus. Anyway, to get those charts to work on a Gen 1, Fergus, yes. What you do is you take your Gen 1 and you sell it, and you buy a new one. There's no way to get a Gen 1 to work, unfortunately. It just doesn't have the processing power. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Sorry, I've gone a little bit over time. It's 20:03, and next month, the second Tuesday of May, yes, second Tuesday of May, we will have season 5. No idea what we're going to be talking about, but I will see you then. Have a good evening, everybody, and thanks again for joining me. Good night.